Good morning, all. Today we're here to do something a little bit different. I am in the house by myself now. My kids are off in college, and I'm used to making deviled eggs if I want some for breakfast, like a half a dozen at a time, and usually my youngest daughter and I will eat those eggs. Half a dozen is a bit of a stretch, so a lot of the time I'll scale that down to four. But what about just for one person, just a couple of deviled eggs? How do you do that? And I'm making this also so that my daughter, who is in school, my youngest one, because my oldest one won't touch deviled eggs, could do this recipe for herself. So what do? Start out with two eggs. We've got them in a pot of water here. I like to put the eggs in the water and start it boiling. And as soon as it starts boiling, I'll time it for about 9 to 10 minutes. I don't like to go beyond that because the more you boil an egg, the more the yolk has develops kind of a sulfury taste to it. So about 9 minutes is usually all it takes to be just about right. If you're not sure, go an extra minute and you're probably safe. Take them out, rinse them off in the water, cool them off in cold water, and then go ahead and take them out of the shell. So we're going to wait until they're boiling and join back at that point to tell you how to make the deviled egg part. All right, the eggs are at a good boil now, so I have set my timer for 9 minutes. 9 minutes, we will take these out, cool them off for a couple of minutes in cold water, and then start preparing them. All right, our timer is up, so I'm going to take them off the burner, put them in the sink, run cold water over them for a couple of minutes, and then crack them. I've always heard, and this has always served me pretty well too, when you crack your eggs, you just like tap them against something on the table or whatever to crack them. Start peeling from the small end first, and they typically will come off easier than if you start from the other end. I found that to be somewhat true, actually. It works pretty well, so give it a try. You may have better results using it one way or the other, so play around. It's just an egg, who cares? Alrighty, so I've got my eggs. They came out beautifully and perfect. Hopefully I put my timer at 8 minutes or 9 minutes. Something says I did 8 because I always do 8. Yep, that could have gone for just a little bit more. You see there's a little bit of dark right there. So it could have gone in for another minute. So that's still quite usable though. So we take our eggs, crack them in half. We're going to take a bowl. Just take our yolk and get it into the bowl. It's still quite hot, so that's why I'm being careful. This is only going to use 3 ingredients. We're going to use yellow mustard, sweet relish, and mayo. And I know, especially if you're a college kid, it may you may not have these. So, make do the best that you can. If you want to go out and buy the ingredients or borrow the ingredients or whatever, that's great. We've got our yolk, or what you could do also is if you've got a meal plan or a cafeteria that you have access to, a lot of the time they'll have packets of condiments and just grab it from there. Just only grab what you're going to use though. Mustard, for 6 of these, the recipe that I have is an old Southern recipe, calls for a full teaspoon. We don't need that much, but I do like the tartness of the mustard, so I'm just going to dribble some in, about like that. It's going to be about 1/3 of a teaspoon. And you can add more later if you want. I like to use sweet relish, and everybody's recipe is going to vary. So play around with stuff. There's no wrong way. If you like it, it's good. I like the sweet relish, so I like to get about 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon for a couple of eggs. Add that in there. Rinse my fork so I don't get relish juice in my mayo. And get a nice dollop of mayo, maybe a little bit more than that. It's amazing how much mayo that you might end up needing. So that's what we end up with for a couple of eggs. For 6 eggs, it's 1/4 cup of mayo that you want, so it's quite a lot. And you basically take your fork and just kind of mash like this. Mix it up. But you're mashing the yolk so that you can make a nice creamy whatever this part is called that goes back in your yolk mixture that goes back in your eggs. And after you taste them, you can, like I said, adjust your flavors or try different variations, but we're just going to spoon or fork this right back into our eggs. And it will be more than you took out because remember we added ingredients. Spoon would have probably been better here to get every tiny little bit out of there, but that's fine. So now that I put them in there, now I'm going to taste it. Pretty doggone good. So there we have it. I took, since I'm at home, and put a dash of paprika on mine, and Kat's wondering what I've got here. I wonder what she'll do. But bon appetit. Pretty good, doggone good. If you're a college student, you like these, and this is the taste of home for you. This is a super, super easy and extremely cheap thing that you can do to get a taste of home and a nice hearty breakfast in the morning. A couple of eggs with this in there. Do a cup of milk, or your iced latte or whatever you're used to having in the morning. You got a good deal. So thanks for watching, and hope this helps you.